The Pharaohs, god-kings of Egypt. Ancient Egypt, a land of mystery and wonder. Towering pyramids pierce the sky. The mighty Nile River flows through its heart. For over 3,000 years, this civilization thrived. At its heart were the pharaohs, the god-kings of Egypt. Pharaohs were more than just rulers. They were considered divine beings. Egyptians believed the pharaohs were the link between the gods and humanity. They held absolute power over their people. They controlled the land, the army, and the government. The pharaoh's word was law. They commanded vast resources and manpower. This allowed them to undertake incredible feats of engineering and architecture. Pyramids, temples, and monuments stand as testaments to their power. But pharaohs were not just builders. They were also warriors, priests, and judges. They were responsible for maintaining order and justice in the land. Their decisions shaped the course of Egyptian history. The story of the pharaohs begins with the unification of Egypt. Before 3100 BC, Egypt was divided into two kingdoms. Upper Egypt in the south and Lower Egypt in the north. Then came a ruler named Narmer. Narmer was a powerful king from Upper Egypt. He led his armies north and conquered Lower Egypt. This victory united the two lands under his rule. Narmer became the first pharaoh of a unified Egypt. This unification marked the beginning of the early dynastic period. Narmer established a capital at Memphis, near modern-day Cairo. He created a centralized government and a strong army. He also introduced a system of writing and standardized weights and measures. Narmer's reign laid the foundation for the development of Egyptian civilization. His successors continued to expand the kingdom's borders. They built temples and palaces. They developed agriculture and trade. Egypt was on its way to becoming a major power in the ancient world. The Old Kingdom, around 2686 to 2181 BC, is often called the Age of Pyramids. It was during this time that the pharaohs built the most iconic structures in human history. These massive tombs were built to protect the pharaohs in the afterlife. The first pyramid was built by King Djoser, the second pharaoh of the Third Dynasty. Located at Saqqara, the step pyramid was a revolutionary design. It was the first monumental stone structure in the world, but it was King Khufu who built the most famous pyramid of all. The Great Pyramid of Giza is a testament to Khufu's ambition and the skill of his engineers. It is the oldest and largest of the three pyramids at Giza. It stood as the tallest man-made structure for over 3,800 years. Building these pyramids was an enormous undertaking. It required thousands of laborers and skilled craftsmen. The pyramids were not just tombs, they were also symbols of the pharaoh's power and wealth. Their construction had a profound impact on Egyptian society. It spurred advances in engineering, mathematics, and astronomy. After the Old Kingdom, Egypt entered a period of instability known as the First Intermediate Period, around 2181 to 2055 BC. A series of weak pharaohs and rival claimants to the throne led to political chaos. The central government weakened. Provincial governors asserted their independence. During this time, Egypt experienced economic decline and social unrest. The Nile River failed to flood regularly, leading to famine. The pharaohs lost control of the country. Egypt was divided once again. The First Intermediate Period serves as a reminder that even the greatest civilizations are not immune to collapse. It highlights the importance of strong leadership and a stable government. It also shows how environmental factors can play a role in the rise and fall of empires. Section 5. A time of rebirth and expansion. The First Intermediate Period came to an end with the reunification of Egypt under Mentuhotep II. This marked the beginning of the Middle Kingdom around 2055 to 1786 BC, a period of renewed prosperity and stability. The pharaohs of the Middle Kingdom restored order and centralized power. They expanded the kingdom's borders south into Nubia. They also developed trade networks with the Near East. One notable pharaoh of this period was Senusret III. He strengthened Egypt's defenses and built a series of forts along the southern border. He also undertook extensive irrigation projects to improve agricultural productivity. Another important ruler was Amenemhat I. He moved the capital to Itchitavi, near modern-day Lisht. He also reformed the government and strengthened the pharaoh's power. The Middle Kingdom was a time of cultural flourishing. Literature, art and architecture thrived. Section 6. The Hios Interlude. The Second Intermediate Period, around 1786 to 1550 BC, was another time of upheaval in Egyptian history. A foreign people known as the Hyksos invaded Egypt and conquered the northern part of the country. The Hyksos, meaning rulers of foreign lands, were probably of Canaanite origin. They came from the east and brought with them new technologies, such as the chariot and the composite bow. They established their own capital at Avaris in the Nile Delta. The Hyksos ruled over Lower Egypt for about a century. Their rule had a profound impact on Egyptian culture and technology. The Egyptians adopted the Hyksos military innovations. They also learned new techniques in bronze working and pottery making. Section 7. An Empire's Golden Age. The New Kingdom, around 1550 to 1069 BC, is considered the Golden Age of ancient Egypt. It was during this period that Egypt reached the height of its power and influence. The New Kingdom pharaohs expelled the Hyksos and expanded the kingdom's borders far beyond its traditional boundaries. One of the most remarkable pharaohs of this era was Hatshepsut, one of the few women to rule Egypt. She ruled for over 20 years and is considered one of the most successful pharaohs in Egyptian history. Hatshepsut expanded trade and oversaw ambitious building projects, including her mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari. She is often depicted dressed as a male pharaoh wearing a false beard. Section 8. The Boy King and His Legacy. Tutankhamun, more famously known as King Tut, was just a teenager when he became pharaoh. He ruled for only 9 years and died under mysterious circumstances. Despite his short reign, Tutankhamun is one of the most famous pharaohs today. This is largely due to the discovery of his tomb in 1922 by Howard Carter. Tutankhamun's tomb was virtually intact, filled with treasures and artifacts. It provided an unprecedented glimpse into the wealth and splendor of the New Kingdom. Section 9. Ramses the Great, a pharaoh for the ages. Ramses II, also known as Ramses the Great, is considered the last great pharaoh of the New Kingdom. He ruled for 66 years and led numerous military campaigns expanding Egypt's empire. He fought against the Hittites in the Battle of Kadesh, one of the earliest documented battles in history. Ramses II was a prolific builder. He constructed numerous temples, monuments and cities, including the temple complex at Abu Simbel and the Ramesseum, his mortuary temple. He also had a reputation as a tireless self-promoter. He had his name inscribed on countless monuments and statues. His reign marked the zenith of Egyptian power and influence. Section 10. An Enduring Legacy. After Ramses II, Egypt entered a period of decline. Internal strife, economic problems and invasions by foreign powers weakened the kingdom. The late period, around 664 to 332 BC, saw a succession of foreign rulers, including the Persians and the Greeks. In 332 BC, Alexander the Great conquered Egypt. It marked the end of the pharaoh's rule. Despite its eventual decline, ancient Egypt left behind an enduring legacy. The pharaoh's achievements in art, architecture and engineering continue to inspire awe and wonder today. The pyramids, temples and monuments they built stand as testaments to their ingenuity and ambition. Their stories, passed down through the millennia, offer a glimpse into a time of grandeur, power and mystery.